Excellent. All right. Hi, everyone. It's 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. The webinar is about ADA compliance. We want to thank each and every one of you guys for attending the webinar. In the past several years, unfortunately, what we've seen in the business is there are a lot of different businesses obviously are getting sued. And it seems like the lawsuits are coming from very few attorneys. They're using the templates, similar templates, sometimes with the same client, and they're going around and suing a lot of different various businesses in different industries. Unfortunately, few of our clients were sued. As a website development company, we're not really equipped to make the websites ADA compliant because there's a lot to it. It's not just putting a code on the side and it'll make it ADA compliant. So there's a lot that goes behind the scene. So we partner up with Accessibility, and Nofar is representing the company that enables the websites to kind of be compliant with ADA. Their tools kind of monitors and also updates the sites in case there are changes, if anything needs to be updated. So they kind of maintain that ADA compliance. What I like about them is also they're a big company. They're headquartered out of Israel, and they have raised a lot of money so far. So it's a big company that stands behind the product. But also because they have seen this and they have been in this industry basically from the inception, they've gained a lot of knowledge and they have a lot of tools that can combat any kind of a lawsuit. So the main important thing about this is being proactive and not reactive. And there has been so many scenarios that when we talk to our clients, on the inception of website development, and we tell them about, these lawsuits and the issues with the ADA compliance, sometimes, unfortunately, they ignore that because it is a little bit of an expense. But unfortunately, they come to us when they are being served with the lawsuit. So we want to try to avoid the headaches. It's already difficult and stressful to run a business. And the last thing you want to do is obviously face a lawsuit. The problem also with this type of lawsuits, they are filing them in federal courts, meaning that you have to have representations primarily to defend yourself. And even talking to an attorney or retaining an attorney at the minimum, it's going to cost $3,000 to $5,000 to even look at the documents and prepare a response or even be presented. Most of these cases settle out of court, but again, that negotiation and the settlement amount is primarily somewhere between $5,000 to $10,000 to $15,000 based on what we've seen. But again, it does require you to hire an attorney to basically do the negotiation. So I'm going to turn this over to Nofar, and she can explain more as far as their services, and hopefully we'll be able to answer any questions that you guys may have as well.
Thank you, Alex. Well said. I don't know if I have anything to say. I think we're done for today. You said it very, that's the truth. Unfortunately, litigation is the #1 reason why people are becoming, businesses are becoming accessible and compliant. There are other wonderful benefits, and we're going to touch base on all of the good things and the bad things as well. What I do want to say is just that the settlement out of court, the average is $3,000 to $23,000. So a lot more than 5 to 10. So we're going to talk about that. If anyone has any questions, I see already there is a Q&A. Nope, someone just said yes. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to send them in the Q&A. We're just going to go over, just to introduce myself, sorry, my name is Nofar. I'm an Accessibility Customer Success Manager. I'm here to help partnerships and agencies just like GemFind Digital to navigate this web accessibility and help their clients to become accessible and compliant. I have a lot of knowledge in the industry and this field, and I am a former jewelry designer myself in a way. So that's a nice circle around. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and I will go over all of the benefits, and then we can talk about what it's going to cost you. Do you want to tell them now how much if they want to sign up, or later, Alex?
We can discuss that later.
Okay, so I need you
Let's talk
to,
about the benefits first.
yeah.
And then let's
Okay.
see the
We
value.
have a
and then we can
nice, yeah, we have a very nice benefit for you. I need you to enable the screen share.
sharing.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Sure. There we go.
Okay. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes, we
The
can.
blue screen? Okay, just making sure. Let me know if you can. So who we are at Accessibility, we're an AI-powered automated solution. This is called a widget. That means that it's a piece of code that goes on any site, any CMS, if it's Shopify, if it's HubSpot, if it's your own CMS that you created from scratch, and makes it accessible and compliant on a regular basis, okay? We've been around for over 5 years. We created a simple and affordable solution. The idea is to envision an accessible world. Only less than 3% of the websites around the world are accessible and compliant, even though over 26% of the population has some sort of a disability. We are trying to make the world an accessible place, as well as the website and the web world. Okay, so we want to be inclusive and accessible. Accessibility is the #1 solution in the past 5 years. We've been in the market for a while. We're one of the first companies that came up with this idea, and we're the only company that has a fully automated AI-powered solution. There are other automated solutions. There are other AI-powered solutions. Ours is fully AI-powered, and the solution itself is automated. We're trusted by big companies around the world and hundreds of thousands of clients. You might recognize some of them in this slide that I made sure that they're going to be here. That's it. Okay, sorry. Okay, so why is web accessibility a good business move? I have to say this was the last slide, but I think it's really important to start with it. Reason being is you should widen your user base. You will open up your business to over 26% of the population that currently cannot navigate or shop on your site. This will give you a competitive advantage in comparison to other jewelry stores and online stores. There are over 14 million e-com sites and so many over, I don't know, I saw in 2 different places, there were 17,000 jewelry websites and 6,000 jewelry websites. So I'm not sure how many are actually out there, but either way, it's going to give you a competitive advantage, allow you to cap on some of the $7 trillion that people with disabilities are holding as a shopping power. And this will allow you to have a brand reputation and be socially responsible. Close to 50% of your shopping is done by 34-year-olds and younger. Gen Z only shops from websites that are showing social responsibility and from brands that are showing social responsibility. So understandably, you would think that this has nothing to do with the decision-making of their shopping, but it is. And then most of all, they have a referral power. People with disability are the most, their referral-based community is the biggest out of all of the demographics. The reason being that if a blind user is going to your site or people with disability are going to your site, it's easier for them to navigate and see what they need to do and understand what they are shopping. They will come back. They will recommend other people from their community, as well as their friends and family that want to shop with you because you support their loved ones. The other nice thing that you get from your IRS, you get up to $5,000 back on web accessibility efforts if you're a company that has less than 30 full-time employees or make less than $1 million. So either or, you can be a small shop and get a tax credit. It helps with the SEO, so increase time on site and decrease the bounce rates, social responsibility, competitive advantage, and all of those wonderful things. So we did a research from 1 million stores or 10 million stores, sorry about that. And we saw that retail websites are facing a lot of compliance challenges. Where the main compliance challenges are in graphics, and inform errors, clickable buttons, and we, as we know, that are so important to understand where they are and how they function. And out of the 10 million websites, only 3% were accessible and compliant, and close to 15% of those sites were e-com sites. So basically, there are about 150,000 retailers around the US that are not accessible and compliant to people with disabilities. We do see a lot of lawsuits and demand letter. In 2023, the lawsuits number skyrocketed to over 5,000 lawsuits, and we don't even know how many demand letters are out there. The reason being is because people are allowed to sue you for not being compliant and accessible. In 2018, the DOJ affirmed that a website is a place of public accommodation, which means that just like you need to have a bathroom, an accessible entrance, you need to have your website accessible. Different states have different regulations. You can get sued in 2 separate states, one after the other. California has its own UNRWA law that makes every site must be compliant if they're facing California. So you can get sued in New York, sorry about that, and then settle out of court and get sued in California as well if you didn't make your site accessible in time. What we want to make sure is that you are covering yourself and mitigating legal risk. E-com sites are the #1 sought after sites for litigation, as you can imagine, because they are dynamic entities. An e-com site is very easy to catch. You have to be compliant and accessible all the time. And you upload a lot of materials, you change a lot of information, you upload a lot of pictures and images. They can catch you as easy as it is. Just one day, it's enough that someone forgot to put an alt tag and you can get sued for that. SMBs, the small medium businesses around the US, are the #1 targeted to get the demand letters and the lawsuits. The reason being is because they cannot afford to have a lawyer on hand. So the chances are they're going to settle out of court. This is just a lawsuit or a demand letter that is coming and they're being sent in massive amounts. It's not something personal against you the majority of the time. And as I said, the settlement would be $3,000 to $23,000 on average. What is the WCAG? What makes a site accessible and compliant with the ADA? The ADA Title III, this is the requirement by law in the United States government to make your site accessible and compliant. The WCAG is a 1,000-page book that was written by the W3C, so the WWW that comes before all the sites. And they are telling you how to make a site accessible and compliant to make it that people with disabilities can navigate it. It can be seizure safe, it can be people that has glasses, it can be people who are colorblind, and it can be, of course, blind people and people with motoric issues, which form the majority of the issues that needs to be addressed. The requirement by law is to be accessible by the WCAG 2.1 at the AA level. And this is what Alex was trying to explain. Making your site accessible and compliant on the code level is very complex. And a lot of times you would assume as a business owner that your site, by buying a Shopify template or by buying a WordPress template, it will be accessible and compliant. They do not make your site accessible. And if you go back, you won't be able to sue Shopify for not making your site accessible. And if you got a lawsuit and you settled out of court. Now, what we want to see is your website compliant and accessible? If you don't know the answer, chances are it's not accessible and compliant. But let's put it to the test, shall we? So you now can scan your site. You can scan this QR code, enter your site, and run an audit, a free audit, to make sure and see if your site is accessible and compliant. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes for that. And you're welcome to put it in the chat. What is the answer that you got? If anyone is compliant, good for you. Anyone got an answer, Alex? I
It
can see
does.
the chat.
Yeah, it does take a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, especially if everyone's doing it at the same time, of course.
exactly.
So the idea is that this scanner, the thing that we have, it's called an access scan. This is a free scanner. You can always test your site. This will allow you to understand where you stand with the compliance with the WCAG 2.1 at the AA level. If you got compliant, that means that your site is accessible and compliant per the law. If you got semi-compliant, that means that you have some issues. If you got non-compliant, that means that you have a lot of issues. Our solution is there to make your site accessible and compliant on the fly. I will explain how it's working soon, but in general, this disability is not a one-size-fits-all, and therefore we have our solution, and everyone that comes in and needs help making the site compliant for themselves can do it by using our widget. Okay?
okay, I just checked. GemFind is compliant.
Yes, you should be because you have us on the site.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to keep going, even though I don't know if you got your answers. Let me know if you did on the chat. Oh, I see a chat now. Someone wrote on the chat.
Okay. Tom Cox is saying that the chat is disabled for me. We
Oh.
are semi-compliant.
Yeah. Okay. Semi-compliant. That's usually what happens when you use a CMS that is out there. That means that you're not compliant. So the site is not ready for keyboard navigation and for screen readers, usually.
And then Chelsea is saying that she's got an error when she tried to
An error?
submit the website. An error, yes. I
Okay.
did the same thing, Chelsea. Initially, it timed out on me, so you may want to try it again.
Okay. If you, Chelsea, if you don't get a chance to go to get the report, let me know and I will send you one after this call, okay? Alex, you can send me the list of the participants and I can
Yes,
send them
of
the
course.
report. Yeah.
Of course.
So what does it mean for your business? 1 out of 4 Americans live with disability. At the older age, it can go up to 1 to 2 people with disability. Okay, so 50% of older clientele that are 65 and up live with disability. You're doing the right thing. You want to make the right thing happen. You want to have your business complying with the regulations, the legal things, as well as doing the right thing and being inclusive, opening your site and your brand to new clientele that might not have been able to navigate it so far. So a lot of really good benefits, and of course, the litigation, which is the scary part. So you can make your website accessible and compliant by using us and saving time, resources, and funds. The reason being is because our tool is a simple, affordable, and easy to install. Okay, GemFind knows how to install it. They can help you with that. But the idea it was designed for people, business owners that do not have a development team, that cannot manually remediate everything from scratch and needs help with making their site accessible and compliant. Where we are in the industry. So you can do manual remediation. Manual remediation takes a lot of time. It's very costly. You need developers to change your website. It also means that you need to compromise a lot of the elements on the site in order to make your site accessible and compliant, because you have to choose specific colors. You have to choose a specific font. And then you have to stop maybe all the movements so people with seizures will not be affected by it. The other option are the freemium versions. You've all heard about that. Some of you might use them. Those are actually, in a way, putting a target on your back. They only focus on the design elements. So they do not make you compliant and accessible. They give you a false sense of accessibility. But what they do is actually marking to the lawyer or the person who is serving the demand letter that you know that you need to pay for it, you know that you need to make your site accessible and compliant, but you decided not to. So a lot of times it might actually be better not to have it on your site than having a freemium version. We come in the middle, and again, we're affordable, we're easy to install, and we are automated in AI. So it's a sort of a set and forget solution for you. You want to put it on and not have to think about it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I want to jump in here really quick, Nopar. So we had a first-hand experience with a client that we basically recommended your solution accessibly, but somehow they went to Shopify. There was an app from Accessibly. I think that the name really
Accessibly.
resembled.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, they got the lawsuit. and really good client, and unfortunately, their attorneys on the other side, they would not go away. They had run the report, and sure enough, the site was not compliant. Now, this company has no contact information. They have no phone number. They do not support it. And we recommended actually to switch to accessibility, and we run the report, and sure enough, it was compliant right after that. So they're sending that to the plaintiff's attorney, basically, to see hopefully they can get it resolved and, make the lawsuit go away. But yeah, be definitely aware of other competitors that, offer the same solution, but it's really not we work with a few of them, and they're not definitely the right solution.
They're a similar solution. And yes, first of all, just so you know, everyone, we do have free litigation support, and I'm going to talk about it in a couple of minutes. But in general, even if you came with a lawsuit, we will still help you. If you're a client, and even if you came with a lawsuit and you joined our solution, our team will be able to support you. They might not be able to get you out of the lawsuit or the demand letter, but they will be able to showcase that you made your site accessible and compliant. And we are the solution that is in the court considered beyond reasonable effort. You have to show a reasonable effort. Freemium versions are not a reasonable effort, okay? So majority of cases are being waived at court because you're using accessibility. And we'll talk about it in a second. I can also tell you, by the way, Alex, that I just heard about a company that called one of my clients to tell them they're about to get a lawsuit. So they knew their manual remediation, and they offered them their services because they knew someone is going to sue them. So they work together. So this is where we come in. This is the Access widget, as I explained. And what we do is we break the barriers of inclusion and mitigating legal risk with one solution. That means that there is a seamless integration that goes on any CMS. You will showcase the widget in a couple of minutes, and then you will be accessible and compliant within 48 hours. We welcome everyone to your shop and mitigate the legal risk by complying with the legal requirements, which is the ADA Title III and other requirements. We improve the UX, optimize SEO, and increase the website traffic and growth. There are main two elements on our widget. I'm going to do a demonstration of the widget itself, but just so you'll understand. The left side this is the interface. This is everything that we can see, okay? This is the design elements. We change the colors, we change the font. You have different profiles that were designed with people with disabilities. And on the right-hand side, this is the AI-powered process that is behind the scenes. This is where all the magic happens. And this is 80% of the requirements by law, which is making your site accessible and compliant and compatible with screen readers and making it keyboard navigatable for people with motoric issues. Our tool scans your site and finds all of the accessibility issues that they have, and then it will understand where it needs to fix it. It does not fix it on the code level. This is a session-based tool and what's called an overlay. It means that it is living on your site and changes everything that needs to be changed while a person with disability goes online and activates whatever features they need. Okay, it will scan your site every 24 hours to make sure that every nook and cranny and every new information that you put on the site is still accessible and compliant. Okay, it will help you open your websites to people with more disabilities. The reason being is that sometimes it's only for blind user, only for people with motoric issues, but disability is not a one-size-fits-all. Every person is very, very different. Every disability is very, very different. And we allow you to change the site and change the tool according to anything that you would need in order to make it easy for you to navigate and shop. Okay? You can customize the interface and it will to match your brand. You can put your own icon. There is actually a diamond icon, which I really like for you guys, as well as you will get a monthly remediation report in the email every month that showcases how you were accessible and compliant. This is an easy solution. You install it, you sign up, you install it on your site. If you have a WordPress, you can even just use the plugin. You customize you implement it, the tool scans your site, and within 48 hours, you're accessible and compliant. It will test your site, it will check your site. You don't need to do anything else. So we are your one-stop shop for everything that you need. The company as a whole is a holistic company for any needs for web accessibility. We do have developers tool. We do have the Access Scan, which is the free tool that you just tested your sites on. And we do have our service department where you can remediate any PDFs, any downloadable media, any videos, audios, or anything that you need from us. Accessibility statement and compliance report. The accessibility statement is a part of the requirement by law. We do have a very vast statement. Unlike other companies, our statement of accessibility is always the exact same statement because that is what our tool can remediate. The price will derive from the amount of page count or the amount of visits on their site, but we can always cover you the same, okay? Usually by sending our accessibility statement, you will get out of a demand letter. I can't assure you that, but that's the majority of the cases where it happens, okay? The second thing that we offer, as I said, is free litigation support with every license. We also offer the litigation support for websites that already got litigation and are coming to us to get their service from us and make their site accessible and compliant. We do have a legal team. The legal team will send you different tools and different screenshots, help you navigate this lawsuits or demand letter, will help you by sending a failure report to the person that the plaintiff and get all the information, reply. Usually by this point, the plaintiff deprecates because it's just too much work for them and they're trying to find an easy out and for someone to settle out of court easily. But we are here, the point is that we are here to cover and walk you through this situation. Okay, so rest assured we're here. I want to tell you that you would never get sued, but unfortunately we live in America. Okay, so let's see how the Access widget work. I'm going to stop sharing for a second and I'm going to show you the other screen. Sorry about that. Does not allow me to do that.
I just
Okay.
just let
Yeah.
you guys know, I just dropped that report just in case you missed that QR code. I just on the chat, I dropped the link to, if you guys want to scan your website, you can use that link to do so.
Yeah. You have it? Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to show you, this is a website that was designed by our team to be accessible, inaccessible for a reason. This is our own site. It's a basic e-com site for a reason. We put in inaccessible elements to showcase how our tool works, okay? So don't get scared. This is our interface. Our interface is, you can change the icon, you can change where it is on the site. Tiffany's are using us and they're hiding it in their footer. So if you click on it, it will work, but you don't see it on the site. So if you don't like it anywhere on the site, this is also an option for you. You can change the colors and match your branding. This has 20 different languages. I'm sorry. This has 20 different languages. My screen is up there, so I apologize for that. 20 different languages that will only change the interface. They would not change the actual site, okay? We do have the accessibility statement that is very vast. As you can see, what we can do, screen reader remediation, keyboard navigation, all of these profiles that we have. We have some sort of a dictionary right here for people with cognitive disabilities. They can check if they do not understand something on the site, or for the older clientele, okay? And we do have different profiles that were designed with people with disabilities for over 2 years to make sure that the site is accessible and compliant for the main disabilities. So seizure safe profile will stop all of the movements and tame all of the colors, right? Vision impaired, for people like me, enlarge the font and get the saturated colors, make it easier to read. The ADHD friendly profile, which is the crowd favorite. And the cognitive disability profile that showcases for people with cognitive disabilities where all of the links are and all of the headers and footers. I'm going to reset that. Other than that, you can manually change anything on the site. Okay, I'm on the left, I line to the right. You can change anything on the site that you want. This will save on the same site. So if I'm coming back to the same site, it will save all of my configurations. If I go to another site that has accessibility on it, the access widget, it will not save any configurations, okay? This is for security reasons. So it's called local cookies only. I'm going to reset the tool, and now I'm going to show you what it looks like for the people with motoric issues that need to navigate the site using the tab key. Those are the people who need to click, or the people that cannot touch the screen. It can also be someone that just broke their finger. So by clicking on the tab key, I am navigating the site and moving through all of the elements, including the drop-down menus. We can open up, we can move and change this. We can open up a window, navigate the window, change the quantity, keep navigating, and then we can either proceed to checkout or escape in order to not make this a trap. These are the hardest elements for even for the most experienced designers and the most experienced developers to do on a regular website. So the pop-up windows will disappear by clicking on escape, as well as all of the drop-down menus. Okay, any questions? I'm going to deactivate that. Now I'm going to show you what it is like for the blind user. Sorry. Now I'm going to show you what it is like for the blind user. So a blind user walks in, as you can imagine, they will not come through the regular bar, right? So when a blind user is using a website, it will go in, and under the accessibility widget will understand that their site, their computer, sorry about that their computer has a screen reader on it, okay? It will understand the compatibility and prompt them to click on either option 1 or alt 1, depending on which kind of a computer they have. They will hear a jingle in their ear, and the screen reader mode will start working. If you ever had a chance to hear a screen reader talking to a blind user ever, it screams a lot of information at you. Header, footer. It's very, very complex and very hard to understand. The idea is to give them not only answer all of the questions that they have if something is missing on the site, but to also give them context for what they're not able to see and make this experience better for them and easier for them, okay? So I'm going to inspect my site, and you're going to see the code level, okay? For the blind user, we use Iris, ARIA attributes, and OCR for image recognition and AI, okay? This is where the AI part comes in. For you and I, this is, of course, a Facebook button, but for the blind user, it's not going to have any information. If I activate our widget by clicking on option 1, and I'm going to hear a jiggle in my ear, you will see that it added Facebook new window, okay? I'm going to deactivate that again. We have an image here. I know all of you are amazing. You always have the alt tags on all of the pictures and all of the images on your site, but just in case you hired an intern and they forgot to put an alt tag on one of the blog pictures, that makes you non-compliant. What we do is fix it on the fly. So this picture on purpose did not have any alt tags, right? What we are going to do is we're going to activate the widget, and you will see that it is reading the image and understanding not only the image, but also the percentage and all of the text on top of it, okay? So a vase filled with flowers with the words extra sale 30% off. We do not recommend to not put alt tags. Putting alt tags is very important for you, but just in case there is one missing, we will come in. We will not override any existing alt tag. Don't worry about that. We want you to have your own description for your pictures. A really cool thing that I think is a great way to showcase why for jewelry designers like yours and why for e-com it's so important, because for the blind user, solid star, empty star, it doesn't mean anything. When you and I shop, we always look at the stars and we look at the reviews, right? So with our tool, it's going to be 4 out of 5 ratings, Okay, the same with, and this is very, very important, with the price. So this is going to show was for 555, now it's 320. Okay, so it's also going to give them the sale price. Those are elements that are really, really important for people with disabilities, especially blind users, to understand how they're navigating the site and how they're shopping. Okay, any questions about how the tool works? No? I see some questions in the chat, Alex.
No, not yet.
No? Okay.
We're good.
Okay. So this is Zach, sorry about that. Okay, I want to go back to my presenter mode. So you can see what we're doing. The pricing with us is very simple. Okay. The pricing with us is very simple. It's based on page count or the total site visits. So now that we saw how the Access widget works, we do have a few different plans. We have the basic plan, we have the advanced and above. The majority of you usually would fit in the advanced and above because of the page count. This will allow you to have a more in-depth monthly report, okay, and a Google Analytics compatibility that will show you how the widget was worked and when. Okay, this is a huge marketing advantage for you guys, that you can see what are pages that people did not stay in and what are pages that people were able to stay in and navigate, okay? Enterprise plan is for websites that are either over 100,000 total site visits or over 100,000 pages, and this will have some more benefits over that, but the pricing is accordingly. That's it. Do you have any questions?
Do you want to, or do you have the pricing information by any
Yes.
chance, and any specials that you could offer to the attendees?
Yes, I'd love to hear their questions, if there are any.
I don't believe
Okay.
there is any questions.
Yeah, sorry, I'm
just
trying
yet.
to.
Yeah.
So the pricing is this. We do have a basic plan. The basic plan is $490. This is for every site that has less than 1,000 pages or less than 100,000 total site visits. Websites that has a page count from 1,000 to 10,000 pages would be in advance. That's $1,490. You do also have the option to go on monthly, so you can go on $149. The same with advanced. This is for every website that has over 10,000 pages. And we have the enterprise, 100,000 pages or 100,000 total site visits a month, okay? So what we are offering for GemFind's clients today is 2 months free for the annual plan if you sign up today or tomorrow. That means that if you sign up today or tomorrow, you're paying for 1 year, but you're paying for 10 months, but you're getting the price for 14 months. Okay, so it's 4 months free. So basically it comes up to, I think, about $100 a month or so, right?
$100 per month
I think so.
for 12
Because
months?
we have, yes,
For
if
10
it's
months?
100, assuming that it's 1,490 and you
Oh.
divide it by 14. Because
Got
they're
it.
going to have 14 months. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, majority of our clients probably have under 1,000 pages.
So
the
even
full-
better. So
Yeah,
that would be $49 a month, and it's going to be about $40 a month. You're
Mhm.
going to get even a better price. It's a no-brainer. If a lawsuit or a demand letter is settled out of court for anything from $3,000 to $23,000, this is a no-brainer to have it on your site.
yeah, it's more like an insurance as well. Hopefully you never get sued, obviously, right? But it's just an insurance that, God forbid, if you ever get sued, at least you have the widget online and it's going to prevent them to really proceed with that lawsuit. I'm going to drop this specific link on our chat here that is going to really reflect this special that Nofar has basically offered. And again, I think you mentioned it's good till tomorrow, or
Yeah.
it's good till tomorrow.
Yeah,
And again, if
till
we
the end
did
of the
not
week.
design, yeah, even if we didn't design the website for you, if you have a web developer, they can install it. If not, we'll be more than happy to step in and install it for you. We just hate to see, you know, our colleagues get sued, and we want to try to really get to the bottom of it and prevent that as much as possible.
So the bottom line, using Accessibility or making your site accessible and compliant, however you choose to do it, has only good benefits. Mitigating legal risk, improving your SEO, helping you with social responsibility, helping you with brand reputation, and opening your business to 26% of the community. So really, it's a win-win situation.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nofar.
Thank you very much, Alex.
Yeah, thank you. If there is any questions, please, you can drop it in the QA. If not, you can reach out to me if you have any questions, and then I can direct them to Nofar. And if you have any questions about GemFind services, please contact us. And again, thank you so much for attending this webinar, and Nofar, thank you so much for your presentation. Very informative.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks
Have a good
everyone.
one.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
day.